Hey boys and girls, we're going to work on Lesson 8 in our Ready book in math, and Lesson 8 is about factors and multiples and prime and composite numbers. These are some big words and I want to kind of break it down. It's really simple stuff that I know you're familiar with. We just have to realize what it's called in math. So let's take a look right here. I've come up with two facts that equal 8. 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Now, if we look at 1 and 8 and 2 and 4, these are called factors of 8. They're the facts that make up 8. And sometimes they get called a factor pair because there's two factors that make up 8. And this is a factor pair. Now, this and this would be called the multiple of 1 and the multiple of 8 and the multiple of 2 and the multiple of 4. So we could say 8 is a multiple of 1, 8, 2, and 4. Now I want to show you an anchor chart I have made here that kind of breaks this down of what factors and multiples look like. Factors are two numbers you multiply together to get a product. And yes, I'm calling that product a multiple. Okay? We sometimes make factor rainbows. It's just a visual way to represent the factor pairs of a number. So for example, here for the number 24, I'm trying to think of all the facts that can give me 24. And I always start my rainbow off with 1 because every number has a 1 fact. 1 times itself, 24. Next, I ask myself, does it have a 2 fact? Well, yes, it does because it's an even number, so I know it will have a 2 fact. 2 times 12 equals 24. And then I say, well, does it have a 3 fact? Yes, it has a 3 fact. 3 times 8. And then I ask, does it have a 4 fact? Yes, it has 4 times 6. Now, I've wound myself down to the only number that I could go ask myself in between 4 and 6 is does it have a 5 fact? And I know it doesn't because I know all 5 facts end in a 0 or 5. So, there are my factor pairs for 24. Now, back when I was in school, I learned factor pairs by writing a T-chart. So if you don't like a factor rainbow, here's another option, a T-chart. You put the number on top, 16 is my example, and you come up with every factor pair you can think. You know it has a 1 fact, 1 times itself, and you know it has a 2 fact because it's an even number, so 2 times 8 is 16. And then it doesn't have a 3 fact, but it does have a 4 fact, 4 times 4. And when I learned how to do this, I realized that once I get a number on this side that's the same or the next number, then I'm done and there's no more factor pairs for that number. Okay, now multiples are the answers we get when we multiply. Notice here it says the product of a given number and another whole number. Skip count by that number. Here's two ways you can look at it. You can skip count, like for 2, if you want to know the multiples of 2, you would skip count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. And for 9, you would count by 9s. Okay, here's another way, is a multiple ladder. And you start with the number you want to come up with the multiples of, and you just go up. Skip count, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on, or skip count 7, 14, 21. This is just a way to help you see your multiples.